Alright, welcome back. Here's another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Wanted to show you, this was my other box that I had saved up, or it was a bunch of cards I had in a binder that represented all of my favorite cards that I probably subconsciously put together because I knew I was going to prison, and if I could only save this many cards, what would I have saved versus the fact that I saved all 60,000 cards that I have currently stored in giant boxes. And it really runs the gamut, just to show you that I'm not very particular about what I like in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, but sometimes I like good card design, and especially I like good art. That was one of my things. And you can laugh at me if you want, if you find any cards that I'm going to show you and you're like, holy shit, this is total garbage. But I like despots. I don't know if you're familiar with the despots, but they are totally a gimmick of swarming with their big monsters using, you know, desktop base, and they can reach massive attack points. And then their best monster, despot number 9, it can stop basically any effects. You know, you cannot activate effects when it attacks, so it can negate anything. So even if it is not in it doesn't have a high attack, it's essentially, you know, you can do a lot of game-winning stuff. But of course, despots love to swarm, and so you can get so many on the field at the same time. I actually built a despot deck, but I never got to play it because I think that it was around that time when I was shortly before I got my case going, so I pretty much withdrawn from the Yu-Gi-Oh community from there. Other things I liked was like the ultra athletes, because I like sports, and so they were trying to translate that into cards. And even though I know recently they've gotten new cards, with the other racing cars, but I haven't gotten those. And then of course, if for any gay Yu-Gi-Oh player, and of course also weebs and female players who are getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, one thing you'll love are Madolches. They are awesome. I have this very awesome ultimate rare of Tiramisu. Of course I think you're like part 20 more of the reprint, but this is an awesome card. But I just love Madolche. They were great, very, very reliable. There are even more cards nowadays, newer cards that included Link Monsters, New Exceeds, awesome archetype. And I try to get all of them because I also just love the art. Madolches have excellent art, so and then we're going to move into some cards that I liked, that reflected my interests when I did get my case, and I had a lot of issues trying to stay out of jail, because they kept wanting to send me to jail. I have things that represent my fish, the Aqua Actress. Now this is a archetype that I actually play obsessively in the Switch game, Duelist Evolution, I think that was. And they as an archetype, they're so reliable because you can use it with wetlands, and I loved it. But these are, of all of these, I actually have owned a Guppy and Tetras, but I have never owned an Arowana. But I love it because this was like a convergence with my fish keeping hobby, and I definitely loved it. So when they came out with those cards, other cards, I always love the the flower princesses, mainly because to me I always envisioned them as like drag queens, really awesome drag outfits. So I have all these. I think there are more. There was the Exceed one, but I didn't. That's a number card, so it would be in the box with the numbers in it. But this one, I think they did come out with new flower princesses, so I only have the 4 original ones. And then I also love the Abyss Actors, which was in Arc V, if I'm correct, played by Salvatore, who's the rival of one of the main characters, and these were awesome. They end up having a Link 1 monster that could let you take any Abyss Actor card out of your deck, but these are awesome, the Abyss Actor cards. And of course they were all holos because they came out of a special set. And then there are these cards. I personally, I don't know if why I like them, but you know, I tell you why I like the Dark Lords cards. It was mainly Dark Lord Marie, which was called Marie the Fallen one, the original card that came out, and that's what I actually liked about them. And then she got her name changed, and then there were all these other ones, and of course Nurse Refugule, which is where she changes any life point gain to life point or effect damage instead. So that's kind of why I like the Dark Lords. I actually don't like any of the other Dark Lord cards, so but those 2 older monsters were what I liked. And then I have these cards. These are believe it or not, it's not that because I like Dark Magician. I actually like when they came out with these support cards for Dark Magician Girl. And if you are a fan, you know that if you put the cards next to each other, it spells black on it. So if you're if for whatever reason you want to spell out Black Lives Matter or whatever, you know, you can use these 5 cards to spell out black. But these are all support cards for Dark Magician, but also most spellcaster decks. But I love the fact that they have these 5 monsters, you know, they're really cute. And then we'll keep going because I'm trying to not make it too long, but of course, you know, might not be too good at this, and I might have to do a part 2. I also, because of the original Yugi, I love insect monsters. I love Weevil Underwood. He was so creepy, and of course, you know, his bug monsters were kind of stupid, but there were a set of these digital bugs, and they were god-awful cards, but I just liked them because when they came out with the Exceed monsters, they were kind of really cool because they use a rank up feature, so very funny. And then I want to show you, now we're getting into the good stuff because I like this card a lot. So Dustins, if you've ever if you're the type who is a completist and you want to collect every single card, the Dustins would annoy the hell out of you because these were specifically short printed cards that you would have to probably open about 3 or 4 booster boxes in order to get 3 of these because they were short printed and it was very hard to find these cards. And they also spread their archetype over, like there was 1 in each set. So this is already like 2 years, over 2 years of waiting for these cards, and I actually don't even have all of them. There's a link version of the Stardust that I don't have, Stardustin or Dustin monsters, but all they do is spam your field, and they became even better when Link monsters came out because using them for Link summons you know, wasn't prohibited, you know, with their effects. So you can essentially you know, put 5 monsters on your side and still be able to link up to get to a higher link one. So anyways, I'll do the last one, and then we'll, you know, probably have to save for part 3 or part 2 or whichever part we're on right now. I love Ghost Tricks. Ghost Tricks mainly because of certain Exceed monsters like this Ghost Trick So Cute boss. And of course I love, it's gonna take a while to get there because there were so many Ghost Trick cards. Did I skip it already? Oh, there it is. Angel Mischief, which is a special win condition card, which is horrible. One of the hardest to complete special win conditions, but I always like gimmicks like that. So Ghost Tricks had it, although Ghost Tricks overall weren't that great, but I just love the art. You know, it's very cute. Of course, if you like this one. So this is for the people who, of course, the weebs out there who just like these cute little girls. So it's not, that sounded really bad, didn't it? So anyways, that's it for now. I'll follow up in a separate video on the rest of the cards that I have here. I'll check you guys soon. For the people, the Yu-Gi-Oh watchers who are watching this for the first time, you're like, what the hell is this content being on a prison page? It's because I'm going to prison. I'm showing you my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They will still be here when I get out, hopefully. But I'm going to post a couple more videos just for fun. So come back. If you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe with notifications. And you'll see more about these cards in a future video.